The HOA that tried to claim a homeowner's yard and accidentally exposed itself. It began on an otherwise quiet Tuesday morning, the kind of morning where nothing dramatic is supposed to happen. The neighborhood sat still under the early sun, lawns neatly cut, sprinklers ticking like metronomes of suburban life. That calm ended the moment a man stepped out of his front door and noticed a bright, orange notice staked directly into his lawn. The notice wasn't from the city. It wasn't from the county. It carried a bold heading that read, HOA violation, immediate action required. That alone was strange because this neighborhood didn't have an HOA, at least, not one anyone had ever agreed to. The homeowner, a quiet, middle-aged man with a steady routine and a strong preference for being left alone, stared at the sign like it had personally insulted him. He bent down, pulled it from the grass, and read it twice. According to the notice, his lawn decorations violated community standards. The kicker came at the bottom, a warning of fines and further enforcement. He laughed once, out loud. Community standards? He muttered. Since when? For nearly a decade, this neighborhood had existed without rules beyond city code. People parked boats in their driveways. One neighbor kept a vintage truck permanently up on blocks. Another had lawn gnomes lined up like a small ceramic army. No one complained because no one had authority to, or so they thought. Later that afternoon, another notice appeared, this time taped to his mailbox. Same logo, same tone. This one mentioned a monthly HOA fee and included a payment address. That's when confusion turned into concern. The homeowner didn't panic. He didn't call the number listed. Instead, he did what most people only wish they'd thought of sooner. He pulled out the thick folder from when he bought the house and went straight to the documents that mattered. No HOA disclosure. No mandatory membership clause. No covenants. Nothing. Still to be safe, he checked county records. The result was the same. There was no active homeowners association governing his property. So how did an HOA suddenly exist? The answer came 2 days later, when a woman from 3 houses down knocked on his door. She introduced herself with confidence, clipboard in hand, wearing the expression of someone who expected compliance before conversation. I'm with the neighborhood association, she said. The what? He replied. The HOA, she clarified, already annoyed. We're enforcing long-ignored rules. He leaned against the doorframe, calm but curious. Ignored by who? She flipped her clipboard around, pointing at a page filled with bullet points and bold text. By everyone. That's the problem. He scanned the page briefly, then handed it back. You realize this house isn't part of an HOA, right? Her smile tightened. It's always been part of one, she said. People just forgot. Forgot. That single word became the centerpiece of the entire conflict. According to her, the HOA had existed for decades, even if no one paid dues, held meetings, or enforced anything. And now she claimed it was time to restore order. When he asked for legal proof, her answer was vague. We're still gathering documents, she said. But enforcement has already begun. That was the moment this stopped being strange and started being serious. Over the next week, more notices appeared across the neighborhood. Some homeowners received warnings. Others got invoices. A few were told to remove items from their yards or face fines. The confusion spread fast, followed closely by frustration. One neighbor summed it up perfectly while standing in his driveway. Notice crumpled in his fist. So let me get this straight, he said. We lived here peacefully for years and now we're in trouble for it. What the self-appointed HOA hadn't expected was pushback. Instead of complying, residents started comparing notes. Deeds were pulled. Calls were made. One retired homeowner even visited the county clerk in person and came back with printed proof that no enforceable HOA existed for most of the homes. The illusion began to crack. The woman with the clipboard doubled down. Emails were sent. Language became more formal, more intimidating. Words like liens and legal action started appearing. Even though no lawyer had signed off on anything, that escalation backfired. The homeowner who first found the sign responded with a certified letter, politely requesting documentation proving authority. He included copies of county records and a clear statement declining any fees or rules without legal obligation. Others followed his lead. Within days, the HOA inbox was flooded with questions it couldn't answer. Meetings were postponed. then canceled. Notices stopped appearing. The once confident enforcement vanished as quickly as it had arrived. Weeks later, the neighborhood returned to normal. Boats stayed parked. Gnomes remained unmoved. No fines were collected. No lines were filed. The HOA never officially disbanded because it had never officially existed. What lingered was the lesson. Authority doesn't come from confidence, clipboards, or official-sounding language. It comes from consent and law, and in this case, a handful of people nearly lost control over their own property, simply because someone spoke loudly, enough and long enough. As one neighbor later joked, "Turns out you can't just declare yourself in charge and expect everyone to forget their rights. The lawn where it all started still looks the same. No sign, no notice. Just grass." And a neighborhood that learned to ask one very important question before obeying anyone. Who gave you that power?
Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe, like and comment on my channel. Thank you so much.